The level of financial pain Americans are facing right now is simply off the charts. And as the price of virtually everything continues to reach new record highs, we are about to experience the most dramatic shift in the standard of living in all U.S. history. As the value of the dollar plummets, so does our purchasing power. Consumer prices are still rising much faster than people's paychecks, and the Fed's rate hikes seem to be doing more harm than good when it comes to taming stubborn inflation. To call it economic malpractice would be way too kind. The truth is that these policies are complete and utter lunacy, and we are all gonna literally pay the price for such madness. Today, we are going to expose the harsh reality millions of Americans are facing right now, and how our standard of living is being destroyed right before our eyes. Before moving on, please support us and leave a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss our upcoming videos. An enormous paradigm shift has begun. Out-of-control inflation is creating severe imbalances all across the economy, and U.S. consumers are seeing their buying power evaporate at a stunning pace. In June, shoppers paid the highest prices since 1981. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported, the sharp increase in the cost of consumer goods is contributing to a major economic slowdown, given that Americans are having to spend less and less to make ends meet. In June, the Consumer Price Index, considered the official measure of inflation, soared 9.1% from a year ago. But the truth is that official numbers only show the very tip of the iceberg. Energy prices, for example, were up 41.6% from a year ago. Gasoline prices shot up 60.1% over the past 12 months. Food prices rose 10.4% year over year, with the cost of groceries jumping 12.2%. Restaurant prices climbing 7.7%. A national online study conducted by PYMNTS this month revealed that the majority, or 53% of consumers, said their financial condition is worse in 2022 than it was in 2021. Consequently, this downturn is influencing their grocery habits, with nearly half of consumers, around 45%, saying they're only shopping for essentials and seeking discounts in an effort to find better prices on the products for which they're looking. For the average consumer, reality is not shaped by how much the government tells them what things cost. It's shaped by their personal reality when they go shopping and pay their bills. PYMNTS Karen Webster noted in her commentary on the survey. Jason Lusk, head of agricultural economics at Purdue, said in a statement, "We need to pay attention to this. Food inflation is outpacing salary growth, and it hits those with the lowest incomes the hardest." The survey's findings show just how hard the finances of American families have been hit. Many people are already using their savings to pay for housing and food. Since the start of the year, the real value of American hourly earnings has dropped faster than at any time since the 80s, and the soaring cost of living is weighing on the minds and wallets of millions of families. As food prices continue to skyrocket, the effect on consumers exceeds even that of the already dramatic increases seen in the hard data about these price changes. These impacts are compounded by consumers' deteriorating financial situations, and while they spend less, grocers and big box retailers push prices up even more to offset their financial losses. This week, Walmart noted that the amount that consumers are spending on groceries and gas is compromising their ability to buy anything else, which is hurting the company's bottom line. The increasing levels of food and fuel inflation are affecting how customers spend, and while we've made good progress clearing hardline categories, apparel in Walmart US is requiring more markdown dollars. Walmart President and CEO Doug McMillon said in a statement released on Monday. We're now anticipating more pressure on general merchandise in the back half. Many other consumer-focused companies have also been raising their prices to make up for lost sales, such as Kraft Heinz and Albertsons. Both companies recently announced another round of price increases ranging between 10 to 20%. In other words, the cost of living squeeze is far from over. In face of all this, there's no wonder why consumer confidence is heading lower. More and more Americans are starting to feel gloomy as inflation eats a larger share of their purchasing power with each passing month. This month, the index of consumer confidence fell to 95.7 from a revised 98.4 in the prior month, the conference board reported on Tuesday. The decline was larger than expected. Economists polled by the Wall Street Journal had forecast a decline to 97 from the initial June reading. The part of the survey that tracks how consumers feel about current economic conditions fell to 141.3 this month from 147.2 in June. Looking ahead, inflation and additional rate hikes are likely to continue posing strong headwinds for consumer spending and economic growth over the next 6 months, highlighted Lynn Franco, Senior Director of Economic Indicators at the Conference Board. On the same note, Oxford Economics chief U.S. economist Kathy Bostjancic said consumers' increased pessimism is consistent with our view that consumer spending and the broader economy are downshifting to a much slower growth path amid high inflation, rapidly rising interest rates, and financial market volatility. That's a serious issue, especially considering that we're entering an economic recession. At the same time, many potential home buyers are being forced to put their plans to purchase a home on hold as housing becomes significantly more unaffordable, and the latest mortgage rate increases make the problem even worse. A new study by online real estate brokerage Redfin found that the rise in interest rates led a good chunk of home buyers to lose up to $165,000 in buying power on new homes in the last year. Interest rates for 30-year fixed-rate mortgages have jumped from an average low of 3% to about 6% in the last year alone. Because of those rate hikes, mortgage costs have shot up by a median increase of 49%. This has resulted in potential home buyers being able to afford less on the same budget, Redfin noted. At the end of 2021, a home buyer with a monthly mortgage budget of $2,500 could afford a home worth up to $517,500. But for the 4-week period ending June 15, 2022, that same home buyer could only afford a home worth up to $399,750. That is a $120,000 drop in purchasing power. Even homeowners able to spend more than that are seeing diminishing value in the homes they can purchase. Buyers with monthly mortgage budgets of $3,000 or $3,500 have lost $141,250 and $165,000 in buying power, respectively, the study finds. At this point, the vast majority of Americans can see that a dramatic economic downturn is on the way, Magnify Money data revealed. Over 70% of U.S. adults said they believe a recession is coming within the next 6 months. The biggest recession warning sign, which 88% of respondents pointed to, is high inflation. In second place are housing and rent prices with 61%, rising interest rates 56%, the stock market 55%, declines in consumer spending 42%, and rising unemployment 36%. Their biggest worry when it comes to a looming recession is the inability to pay their bills, with 44% reporting difficulties to get by. In essence, the pace at which U.S. households are seeing the standard of living deteriorate is absolutely alarming. In less than 2 years, we've become unable to afford the most basic things, such as food, gas, energy, and housing. The economic policies that have been introduced over the past couple of years not only have left us with the worst inflation spike in a generation, but are also turning the US dollar into worthless paper, and we are rapidly approaching the point of no return. If only our paychecks were rising as fast as the cost of living was, American families would be able to keep up with the escalating prices, but of course that is not happening. And increasingly, more Americans are falling out of the middle class with each passing day. If your income does not rise as fast as prices are going up, your standard of living will go down. By now, all evidence shows that the U.S. economy is broken, and the solutions enacted by our leaders only aggravate our existing problems. Prices are expected to continue to soar into the stratosphere, and this means that life is going to become increasingly difficult for most Americans. We are dangerously close to the economic endgame, and the word collapse is not nearly strong enough to describe what is going to happen to us.